penis.
Hello?
And welcome to live.
Yeah, welcome to the Raging Rolls Take on Acquisitions Incorporated, starring Ahinsa as Hope, because God knows she needs some.
Hi! What's really mean? Wait, what did I miss? What happened?
We're live.
My face is gone again. Wait, can you see me? What am I doing?
There you
Okay,
are.
you can see me now, right?
Yep, there it is. Beautifully done.
Can you hear me?
Beautifully done. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Oh, so
I feel
good.
like I'm missing something.
I am so glad that worked out just the way it did.
Hello?
What happened?
That was perfection. That was great.
It was beautifully timed.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, you just don't get to make that shit up. That's good.
You'll have to go
All right,
back
so welcome to our session. Tonight we are diving right back in where we left off last time. For those that have not followed us, the party found themselves chasing some competition that they met a few months ago, who initially stole their chance to be part of the Great Acquisitions Incorporated corporation. And they found out through their business colleague that the Acquisitions Incorporated group were being sent to retrieve a bunch of items in a cave nearby. Upon hearing this, the group set out after them, trying to at least get the upper hand on them, maybe even grab some of those items instead. As they reached the cave entrance, it was then that they realized that all was not as it seems. There was only one of the Acquisitions Incorporated members there, and they were waiting outside by the horses. The Raging Rolls team quickly dispatched of their singular foe, and upon restraining them, led their way deeper into the cave to find out where the loot was. What they found, as well as loot, inevitably, was several diseased monkeys, and a few of our players find themselves tonight afflicted by some sort of an ape-like dysfunction, you could say, which we will explore as the session goes on. They also retrieved a few magical items and found their way outside without a single trace of the group that they were chasing to begin with. It is there where we again find our adventurers as they resume their quest for wealth and business success. What are you guys up to?
DM, quick question. Are we
Yes.
still +2 for intelligence, +2 for con due to the monkey bite? Or
If you so there was a few things that we got there. If you're still infected by that curse, you will still have that that affliction. So yes, you will have that benefit until you get until you remove the disease. That will be a permanent thing for you.
Yeah, it was the +1 to hit, +1 damage that was temporary.
Yes, that was through the forge.
So that was it.
So it was just +2 intelligence.
And +2
Yeah.
con.
+2.
Anyone
Con as well.
Where am I?
Was it con or not? I couldn't remember if it was con or not because I haven't rubbed out my con on my I update my
Yes, it was con.
really.
Was
I thought
con?
it was
Cool.
intelligence. Okay, cool. Yeah,
It's been a few weeks.
been a while.
This is why I just get to make up all the notes.
Absolutely. You are a 30 creature of death upon the world.
30,000
So-
sleight of hand, right?
Wait, where should I be?
You are out here, and it's as you all make your way out of the cave that you spot next to the man that was tied up is none other than the youngest of your party, Hope.
Hi, Dad.
Hope, what are you doing here?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, I was bored, and Impy said you needed my help, so I'm here because obviously I'm really strong.
Yes, but you were much safer back at the orphanage than you are here.
But I was
Here,
born and I missed you.
here,
Well, you
this will
are my
help you.
dad.
This will help you to get in trouble. And I give her the owlbear dagger that I got
Ooh.
a couple of battle arenas ago.
Nice.
That is it's a D8 plus your dexterity modifier damage, and then it's. Are you proficient with daggers?
I'm a little girl, so
You should be able to. I really hope I just didn't give a deadly weapon to a
That's-
small child. Actually,
I mean, you did, but they're a bit of a unique case.
yes.
can someone point to me on the Roll20 map where the tied up person is?
Probably around where you guys are now, just
Oh,
for the
okay,
sake
cool.
of it. The map's different, but that's more for the future rather than what happened previously,
For the
which we'll get
future.
into.
Ominous.
Yes. Dun dun
Right.
dun!
Oh, no, I did it. I was able to get my character onto the thing.
Well done!
Thank you.
As Claptrap would say, your ability to walk short distances without falling will be Handsome Jack's downfall.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Borderlands reference.
What's that? It's Borderlands. Borderlands
Yeah.
2.
That's smart.
Okay, I think I am proficient with daggers.
Yeah, I'm just double checking because I really don't want you to actually poke yourself in the face with it.
I mean, if the DM's blessing counts, you have it.
So that'd be proficiency plus your dexterity modifier to attack, and then the damage is D8 plus your dexterity modifier.
It says simple weapons. Is that a simple weapon?
Yes.
Cool.
So that'll help you if you get stuck. Sticking with the pointy end.
Okay. Like this?
Wow.
Perfect parenting.
So hang on.
Something straight out of Game of Thrones.
Let me just think about this for a
Pretty
second.
much.
We've just run into this cave. We've got some treasure. We can't find these original group we're trying to track down. We have one guy here. Where's he gone? Is he still around? Is he gone?
Yes, he's sitting there tied up, and Hope is probably, I imagine, having kept him company for a little while.
So, why are you tied up?
Well, I was here waiting for my party to return, and they haven't yet. And I think, are you here for
Did they
the?
abandon you?
No, they went in. I was here to protect the horses. Are you part of the other group that went through? Are they
How
like?
can you protect the horses if you're tied up?
Well, you see, I was not expecting a fully armed group that hell bent on getting into the cave to think I was enemy number one. But here we are.
I
Okay.
stand by my decision to do this.
That's the life of a horse guardsman, I guess.
And the rest of your party, they went into that cave there.
Yes, the same one that you just came out of. Didn't you just see them?
No.
Well, they went to the before you.
There was nothing in there but some ghost monkeys and a very pissed off stone dwarf and fucking
There's
rocks.
some fungi.
Well, you must have missed something because they definitely went in there.
Hmm.
Mm,
Hmm.
Every
do we need this guy, or can I have my dinner now?
I mean, I am sure that if you wanted to open war with both the city guard as well as Acquisitions Incorporated, you could eat me. But I am both bony and really inconvenient to eat.
That's his favorite type.
Well, I may have made a miscalculation then.
Yeah, I would think so. Look, we just cleaned out a cave. We killed gorillas that were kind of see-through. We took the life away from a lifeless object that had become animated, and I'm still holding on to this pretty awesome-looking thing that keeps hurting my hand every time I hold it up. I just hold up the ruby that I'm holding. I would say that's a good morning's worth of work for the group, and yet we saw nobody in there that you've talked about. So unless you're trying to pull the wool over our eyes, we need to be a little bit more prescriptive about where you're.
I need hands to be able to do that effectively. But if you truly did not see them, then mayhaps we should go in after them. I would appreciate your assistance.
Where?
Well, I can't go in there alone if a whole group of them weren't able to come out.
I don't think you'd be much use. We took you down pretty quickly. Tied you to a horse. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing for you. You must feel quite emasculated right now.
Well, I was always told that if I was ever faced with 5 willing enemies and there was only one of me, that those were odds that I'd be okay to lose in.
We definitely did lose. Not your life yet, but anyway, should we just talk as a group away from this person at the moment about what?
I mean, take your time. I'm not going anywhere. They might be dying, but sure, just have a chat.
No worries.
Just a bit weirded out.
I usher everyone
we
over.
miss people. I'm just a bit weirded out that we miss people.
How did we
We
miss
went in every
people?
room.
Or did we?
It was.
Wait, Snack, didn't you go into a room and quickly run back out again?
No, that was in the dream that we had.
No, it was a fungi room. The open door.
Oh yeah, there was that
just-
fungi room. There was
There you go,
there
fungi
was a
room.
fungi room.
Did
Yeah, we didn't go in
we
the fungi room.
actually investigate every room, or did we get the treasure and get the hell out of there?
I don't know. I was feeling a bit weak towards the end of that after being bitten by that ghost monkey. A few of them.
Yeah, you do recall that the only room that you didn't fully explore in detail was the fungi room, and in there that was the quick see and then quickly close up and keep away from.
Is there anything that sort of looks odd about that room apart from the fact that it's full of fungi?
When you looked at it at the time, nothing looked particularly odd. No.
I feel like we should
Well,
send Hope in to have a look. She's small. Maybe all the gas and things are
Hey.
top.
Hey, that's my daughter. If anyone's going in dangerous rooms, it's going to be me before my daughter.
Off you go.
Then why don't you both go
Not right
together?
now. I am feeling actually quite unwell. What time of the day is it?
At this point, you probably would be getting to about 3 p.m.
All right. Should we have like a bit of a rest, a little bit of a rest before heading back in? I don't know about everyone else, but I took quite a beating.
Are we going in the caves?
More than likely we go in the caves.
Dun dun dun.
I would like to have a quick rest also, and have a little bit defeated from also getting bitten.
Yeah, and I want to have a look at what are some of the stuff that we got.
Oh yeah, the loot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the plan? Taking a short rest, long rest,
Short rest.
Short rest.
rest.
Roll some hit dice and heal myself.
Do you guys need spell slots?
I think I've got one spell slot left.
I haven't got many left.
Gary would have spent a bunch of key. And it hasn't kept it.
Hit points.
Or 6 only.
What'd you say?
Oh no, just that Snack only got 6.
Oh, no,
Oh,
but
HP.
I've got 5 hit dice that I can roll, so
Keep
Number
them
6.
coming.
yeah, I've got 5 that I can get used, so I can try and get back up on.
Just trying to remember how you roll hit dice on Beyond 20.
You literally just click hit dice. 7 points that time. Look at me, big spender.
Smashing it.
Okay, and then one more should be enough to get me back to full. 13. Fuck yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah, I do declare.
Oh
That's
man.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
What?
May West? That I do
Okay.
declare my mind. Ignore me. I thought I got the reference. Just ignore me.
You're like, one of these days I will get it.
I will get the references.
Was that
Um,
All right, how's everybody going? We got ourselves some hit dice back. We're rested up.
Yeah, I also want to have a quick look at some of the stuff that I found, if it's
Yep.
possible.
What are you looking at?
Well, we have. I have the hat. So that's
Yeah.
the hat that's for Jenkins.
The hat for Jenkins.
Yeah. He wanted the hat of wizardry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I put that aside because I know that's what that is. So I put like in a safe spot.
Yep.
I found some amulets. What are they?
You did. Did I not give you any values for them at the time?
No, not at the time, no, because I think everyone was like looting the crap out of the ring we found.
Good. Now I got to go back and figure out what I gave you.
Well, I got one thing that I know is definitely magical because it's a monocle that gives me advantage on searches for things in libraries.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
cool. But just the amulets. And I found a coin. I've written down coin, not with an S.
Not with the S.
Yeah, and an arrow that's tipped with a tooth.
Tip with what, sorry?
It's tipped with a tooth.
A tooth.
Yeah, it's just, instead of an arrow like head, it's got a
Head.
tooth. Apparently, it's what I've written down. So
That's why we really got to get these sorted out at the end of last session because 4 weeks between them is just insane.
yeah,
At this point, most of those have reverted to just having gold values.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, I got a bunch of potions: resist fire, bless, cure disease, cure serious wounds, and a magic scroll that does wild magic when we read it.
Beautiful.
well, we also have a 5-year-old that does that.
That's what scares the shit out of me.
So the coin,
Yep.
it has, we'll call it the rat coin,
Okay.
so you can have a bit more context. And as you hold the rat coin, you sort of turn it in the light, and you see on one side of it is a rat carved into and embossed into the face. On the other side, a flipped version of the same image. And as you hold it, you cannot quite explain it, but you feel the importance of the rat coin. It seems to be needed to have value beyond your current understanding.
Okay. I put it into like a shirt pocket for later investigation.
Excellent. As far as the amulets are concerned, I cannot tell you what they were, except that they are worth gold. They look quite valuable, quite nice. Something that could be sold at a high price to a merchant selling gold or such items.
Okay, I'll write that down. Sweet. And then the arrow with it's tipped with a tooth.
Oh, like Robin from a month ago was very creative.
That's right. I'll have to do that right now. Okay.
You just write that down, and we'll figure out what it does when you shoot it at something. How about that?
Yes, I'm okay with this.
That's way more fun.
Turn around and shoot the guy that's bound.
Oh god. Anybody else doing something before we carry on?
No.
Everybody's healed up and done their short rest.
Yeah, the only other thing I would do is be like, "Hey, anyone here? Is anyone here a healer?"
I can cure some wounds, but I can't figure out what the hell's wrong with you and me.
Oh, you got bit too?
I did.
Ah, fuck.
You got bit. Are you gonna die?
No, I'll be fine.
Common problem for tall people.
Hope, go ahead and roll a investigation check for me as you peer to your dad to see what's wrong.
I got 0.
That's that pause. Jesus.
5. She's
That's not bad.
My butterfly.
Yeah, so with a 9, you notice that for some reason the scales that your dad has are graying slightly. And you can see that it almost makes a silverish sort of column on his back. almost to show age or prestige in an ape colony.
Are you saying it's
Fuck yeah,
soft?
might go young.
Like you cut out.
He has a big silver scale sort of birthmark looking thing on his back.
Why are
Say,
you changing?
I say, look at me. Have I got one too?
And you see the hair is sort of has a silver line running down the back, but it cuts off at his shirt, where you imagine it's just a full chest of hair that's also got silver.
Oh, I try and touch it. You're really soft. I'm actually touching. But I touch
So as the mutual grooming continues, well, anybody else doing something?
Is this? I don't have the same thing on my back.
Why do you have fur?
Yeah, you also have this sort of your thick dwarven hair is just the silver streak that now runs through it.
We need to sort this shit out.
Any different other than some of the intelligence or con? Like, do we feel not well? Should we be?
I feel
Are
like
we aware that our health is maybe impacted and we should probably
is-
make a
I
hustle?
was going to say, is your health impacted? Because I have a cure disease potion that we could try.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check as you're trying to sort of perceive your sort of health.
Is that their health or mine? I'm doing that to check them.
However you want to do it. Doctors, I hope, roll medicine checks all the time. I mean, with a 14, you definitely know it's unnatural. Based on current perception, you don't really know why you might be, and that's Claymore, why you might be feeling that way. Are you not Claymore? Are you clicking the wrong sheet, maybe?
No,
No, Rod rolled a nat 20 for his medicine check. Who was doing the medicine? I thought it was Rod was doing the medicine.
Yeah, Rod definitely did the medicine. Rod, you notice that based on what you saw earlier, it seems that the silver lines on all of these creatures are actually growing. It seems that from the time that they were initially infected, it's only grown worse. As such, you imagine that would it cover their whole bodies, it would probably not be great for them.
I feel this disease is going to kill you both, or all of you. I feel like we need to fix this now, or we may lose half the party very quickly.
Gonna die?
Alright, so we're not going back into the cave, we're going back to town.
How many potions
Can
of
I
cure?
try my cure disease? I've got one, I believe, one potion of cure disease. Can I try some of it into
Give it to me.
one of them to see?
I have a child.
My dad.
I have a child.
Give it to my dad.
Oh, I feel like I need them to bargain off.
I don't.
So
Yeah.
as soon as Flint's a healer, I'll just pour a little bit into him to see if it does anything.
I poke you because why didn't you give it to my dad?
So you pour a little mouthful into their mouths. So who was that you were pouring into? Flint. So Flint, you taste this liquid. It's far more viscous than you imagined it would be. It leaves an oily residue on your mouth as it starts to strip away anything that seemed close to disease, whether that be sugar or bacteria decay your teeth and then down your throat. You had a bit of a cough, but seems to have disappeared now almost completely. But upon searching them again, Rod, you notice that it's done nothing to the intense silver that now protrudes on their back.
Yes, I think we're going to have to get you guys healed before we go. This disease spell that potion does nothing.
Nothing.
We're on dead monkeys.
Make our way back to, we'll find a temple or something.
I'm not sure if you guys are planning to, but is it possible that we can get back to the rescuing of my companions anytime?
There's more important things happening.
What's in it for us, Theo? What is even in it for us to rescue your companions? Why would we do
Well,
that
I'm sure
when we
that-
clearly have issues with our own to deal with.
Well, Acquisitions Incorporated has plenty of policies in place to ensure that if somebody were to assist during an investigation, that they would be duly rewarded.
Hope, get away from the cave mouth. Hope, no.
Okay.
I reckon we
Guys.
set him free and he can look after his own people. We didn't see
I
him.
mean, if you let me free, I'm still not able to do it. You understand that you're probably condemning 5 people to their deaths by refusing to help.
We didn't see anyone.
Oh, look, quick huddle. If we take this guy at his
Murder
word
hobos by not helping.
and say that let's assume for a second that his crew is still inside this cave system. Let's take him as the lead and push him forward to deal with any crazy monkey bullshit.
Can you throw him?
I
Yeah.
think we can try.
Have him check the trap.
I don't know. You know, it's nature's way that the strong survive and the weak perish. Currently, they disappeared, so they're weak and they're probably dead.
But we
Best
saw
of
no
the days
evidence.
for
We saw no
us is
evidence.
food.
If this is a group of people that have been involved in finding treasures, doing all these things, they must be loaded full of things. If this guy here is saying they have not come out of this cave, either they're further in than we know, or they're still in there and they're dead, waiting to be looted.
I do not feel comfortable trying to go and do this, considering that I may or may not become a monkey. I really don't want to become a monkey. I like being a lizard person.
Yeah, look, your monkeyness is something I'm willing to risk.
So
I feel like my lack of monkeyness is a good position for me personally. And I feel much better after this recent rest.
Sorry,
And
I
I'm
did-
really down with the idea of looting things. Either because we get it for free or something is right there in front of us and we get to like wedge my axe directly into its toes. So look,
I'm with Stu
putting
on
my
this
hand
one.
in as a heading back in.
Should we vote?
How long do we think it would take to clear the caves based on what we went through?
Hopefully less than 4 hours because we're getting off pretty early on the stream tonight. So
Yeah, one session worth, you know.
All right. Should we take a vote?
all right. Well, if you want
thinking-
to take adventure and have a chance to kill things and get loot and be heroes that have legendary stories to tell, then vote yes to head back in. And if you want to deal with small children and taking them back to orphans and all that sort of stuff.
I'm
vote to go
not
back.
going back to the
Either way,
orphanage.
I have to deal with the small child, so
What's a
I
vote?
mean,
to leave at least
if we
me.
go back into the cave, you may not.
No, I just gave her a dagger. It's quite expensive. I'd rather not lose that. I mean, her.
Gotta give her a chance to use it then.
All right.
I implore you, if you're gonna give her weapons, at least put her in the arena.
I know, right? That other one, Shakira. What was her name? Anyway.
Soraya.
I hope you know.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Those in favour of going into the cave.
Those in favour say
Aye.
Alright.
Aye.
aye.
Those
What
against.
do I say? Dad, what do I say?
Just say what I said.
Okay. What do you say?
Democracy. I said aye.
Democracy. Aye.
The eyes have it. We are venturing forth.
Yeah, you're leading the way.
Me? Okay, I'll go next.
I mean, if you are time me, I'll happily lead the way.
You don't need
Um,
hands
Can
to
you
But-
stay
watch.
on the horse? Can
I
you stay
mean,
on the horse?
we can see by the entrance there that it's not exactly big enough for a horse. That's partly why we didn't bring them into the cave to begin with.
Alright, I'll untie him, but I'm going to leave his hands bound with a weapon in his hand and like a rope leading off.
I mean, if it ever comes to fighting, this would be highly inappropriate having me in the lead without a weapon or with a weapon and tied.
Well,
It's-
you'll be the first to go, really. So
It's a
Well,
two-handed weapon.
If you're just wanting to kill me anyway, then A, why didn't you do it to begin with? And B, why are you helping me save my friends?
not murder hobos.
We're
Well-
actually just going to see if
We're
there's
just
the cabin. But okay.
Listen, there's four of you at this point. 5. Apologies, my counting is not as good as it once was. And there's one of
There's
me.
6 of us. 1, 2,
Um,
3, 4.
it's true.
Good counting,
Can't you
Hope. Good
count?
counting.
Well, all I'm looking at is oh yes, I'm not on this map. That's why. Yes, there's 6 of you. I see that now. Now that I'm relevant again. Indeed. Yeah. So if you 6 cannot keep me in check, even with my hands unbound, I think we have bigger problems.
I think the
Agreed.
little man has a point.
And I cut it clean open. Chunk.
Now let's go save some people.
Let's go
So-
loot some people.
As you approach the entrance with this guy in the lead, the first thing you notice is that everything seems to be the same as it was the last time that you were in here.
Oh, good.
You see the same rock face, and as you enter, you hear the trickle of water, a sound that you did not hear the last time that you were in this cave. And as you inspect, you realize that to the left of where you entered, the cave now opens up to allow for a natural stream to just flood into the cave. And immediately you're all aware that this is not the same cave that you were in.
Snack, what's she done to the cave? She's been here 3 minutes and got a dagger and changed the cave.
He's working some magic. I think we should drown him and just leave.
What do you mean? This is the same cave. You before? What are you talking about?
This is a very different
We did
system
not
to what we
go
were
in
in
here.
a few moments ago. We did not walk out of this cave system.
Are you telling me that we're in a cave that my team might not be even in?
Well, they weren't in the last one, so the probability that they're in this one is actually quite high. Oh my head hurts.
Well, statistically higher, but that was a marvelous insight. You are quite the intelligent lizard folk, aren't you?
Oh, my head hurts.
Or it's quite low, and it's just an endless set of cave systems, and every time you go into it, it changes. We made it.
Make a perception check as you enter the cave. Whoever's in the lead. Let's get a marching order. Val and Naru looks like they're up.
Oh, okay. I'll go behind Val and Naru then.
Sure.
I suppose I can go in front if you really want.
March in
I should
order.
be
Am
near
I
the front
behind
'cause I
you?
can
Where am I?
Okay, I'll go
Absolutely.
first because I am the ranger / rogue who.
Okay, so I come next to you.
No, behind me.
Okay.
So you, Val and Naru, as you approach the cave and you're starting to walk through it, to the right of you, you see the stoneway go into what looks to be a unnaturally formed stone stairs. You see carve marks etched into the base of the stairs. You see it lead into a room, but the rest of it's quite shrouded. Up ahead, you do see that the cave continues to curve around and forward to the right. But with the darkness that it approaches as you do, you're unable to see much further than that. As you listen out, you hear a few things. The first, as you are well aware, the river that's flowing through this cave. Next, you hear dripping, the telltale signs that this cave has the formation of stalactites and stalagmites as the drip continues, almost to the beat of a drum. And then you hear what sounds like feet, but not any feet. It sounds like little feet that stick to the ground, and with every lift you hear the pull as it sort of unsticks from the floor, and you hear the stick grip, stick as it softly approaches where you are.
What's that noise?
No, thank you. That's me in real life because.
I mean, that's a great thing. As a DM, if I can give you that reaction, I think I've done my job.
Thank God there's no like spooky music right now. Otherwise I probably I'm like, no, I'm going to bed, guys. Bye. All right. What do you hear, Valnaru?
Actually, I'm like, can I make a? Do I see anyone in front of me? I cut out a little bit there, so I missed half of it.
Not yet. You just hear the telltale signs of almost like sticky glue being peeled off of a wet floor repeatedly, approaching you.
What?
I say, beware, something is coming. Everyone arm yourselves. This may be the war we've been waiting for.
I
War?
immediately.
So get us ready to peel off for an attack.
I with great enthusiasm, I take that bone-tipped arrow and I notch it into my bow.
We're going to find out what this thing does pretty soon, aren't we?
Yes.
Using dark,
Awesome.
with my dark vision, does Flint see anything, or anything on the walls, any signs of like symbols or anything like that around or in front?
You see. Sorry, Hope.
Oh, I was gonna say cast mage armor on myself.
Cool. You see that what appears to be a well used cave system. All throughout, there's signs of like scratch marks. There's signs of people sort of making use of this place, including the stairs that you see to the right of this walkway. And just in the distance with your dark vision, you're able to spot what looks to be faintly a bridge or something off into the distance.
Up the top of the stairs and through, or further following the stream?
For further following the stream.
Okay. I can see either a bridge ahead, or there's some weird caves up, and some stairs to the right. I'm going to check that out before we pursue things too much further. Can I perceive whether the sticky footsteps are ahead or to the right up the stairs?
They are definitely coming from up ahead.
I think we should get off this stream and get in these stairs, at least, so we can see what's coming.
All right, I scoop up Hope and I hold her out of the water, and I move her and I over to the steps next to, in front, just there.
I
Beautiful.
rolled a d20 because I cast a spell, Robin.
Beautiful. What'd you get?
13.
So it doesn't count?
Damn it!
Thank
Well,
God.
what did you say? Because you said it's every like a nat one that counts, right?
Yeah,
It's
only
only
on
if I
that
do
one.
a nat 1, which is like so rare.
No, so this is something that another party and I worked on, and I think it's really cool. So every time you roll and it doesn't trigger it, the next time it adds like one more number. So from now on, if you cast a 1 or roll a 1 or a 2, it'll go off, and if it fails, then it'll be 1, 2, 3 until it does go off. So it's like a disaster waiting to happen, so to speak.
That's
Nice.
really mean. That's so mean. You please don't put that in your other one, please.
I think it's a really cool way.
Wild magic in the other one? No.
Not yet. No, not in the new campaign or in Waterdeep.
New.
New, not yet. I don't think anybody's doing wild magic.
Also, I get Tides of Chaos as well, so
Oh yeah, it's gonna be wild magic all over the place.
yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So Hope you're over with me now. Like Kate carried you over the steps.
Okay.
So as you all enter the new room, you notice that this place smells of iron in a different way than the rest of the cave has. Upon the walls, you see the iron braces of what would hold a captive. You see chains hanging from the walls. You even see some telltale signs that once upon a time, this may have been used to actually house something that bled.
Oh.
Can we see if any of, you say once upon a time, is anything on the floor, blood, whatever consistency still?
There seems to be sort of dry, dark stains, but they don't have any sort of wetness to them.
Is it anything looking fresh? Freshly disturbed?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
A day to taste it.
Snake immediately goes over and tastes one of the puddles.
With an 18 to investigation, you notice that up ahead there are signs, right up where you might see this little part of the map that sort of goes to a point right here. I'm in the right layer, hang on. This point right here.
Yeah.
Do you see that one now? So as you get close to that, you notice that there seems to be a part of the rock that's fallen off. And as you look further in, you realize that this is a sort of a stone chute that takes itself higher up into what looks to be another adjoining room in this cave system. But upon inspection, it looks only small enough for a sort of a small creature to fit up there.
Time to check for traps.
No, no fucking way.
Scaring's pretty small.
What do you see? Is there something up ahead that we should take into account?
Yes,
I think-
crawl through that.
Okay.
Go slowly.
No, not you, Hope.
Checking.
Not you, Hope.
Oh.
Shit.
Stealth check it. Stealth check it.
If you want to try and climb up there, go ahead and roll a. If you've got an athletics check.
Athletics? I have like negative.
Shit.
Do it. But I'm checking
Oh.
the facts first.
Oh, beautiful. So you try and make your way up, and you do pretty well for a 6-year-old. As you put one foot on the one, and then try and get the other foot up, but it's a very slippery surface. So unfortunately, you sort of slide back down again as you keep trying to clamber up the wall. Dave, you sort of push Hope aside gently with a smile, and putting your trained feet into it, you sort of brace yourself on one side of the wall and then the other. You are small in stature, right, as a dwarf? You're muted.
The gnome.
Gnome, sorry.
I'm a
He's
very
very
small
small.
gnome.
Beautiful. So, yeah, you're able to sort of position yourself upwards in a nice way. And are you trying to do anything are you trying to climb up onto the surface, or are you trying to just peek over it?
I'm actually trying to climb up onto the surface.
Beautiful. So you managed to get up there, and just make a stealth check, just like how noisily. No, do con check as to how much breath you're exerting as you try and sort of climb up here.
Constitution check.
Yeah, whatever you think fits, and what you might have a benefit for. Oh, beautiful. So what's that? 19? Where'd you get that one?
What's that?
Does it let me roll the advantage?
We're missing a
Well,
die.
yeah, but he rolled a 14. He rolled a 19 on the die, but it came up as 14.
That's why I'm like, what's going on?
It should
Is this a
-5.
Yeah, something's
No,
up
no,
with
no,
that dice roll.
That's my dice.
Ah, that's your dice.
That's
Cool,
his
cool,
dice.
So
Um,
ignore it as well.
With a 14, you do a pretty good job. And so as you climb up there, you see a few creatures.
Oh god. Fucking
Yeah.
I sort of just crouch down a little bit and I look back over the edge and I just whisper, "There's stuff up here."
And,
you guys can get up. I'm gonna go.
As you're up the top here, you start to hear a few of them talk, and they're grumbling in a language that you don't really understand. You don't know Goblin, do you?
Oh, actually, I know Goblin. It is on my.
Oh, you
capture sheet.
do? Yeah. You hear
Check it out.
you hear one of the one specifically over the end, say, "Well, they've come into our cave, and we have to teach them a lesson. And besides, we've barely had a thing to eat over the last couple of weeks. So what's the harm in using them for that purpose?" One of the other ones says to him, "Well, I'm not really one to tell you how to run this cave, but I've heard that they don't taste very good, and that's partly the reason why they've been able to breed as much as they have. Nobody's trying to eat them." And the other one says, "Yeah, I've heard that too."
I just look. Are these guys related to Snack? Kind of
And,
just creeping low. I'm just trying to like lean back over the edge a bit. Like, guys, there's bad stuff up here. Like, can you guys get up?
Yeah,
Can you
that's.
guys
Can
get
we
up
make
here?
it? As Sue's yelling that, can we see whether we can us bigger folk can actually fit through that little gap?
You could definitely see, your character would know that it cannot fit into that little hole.
You want me
There
to
must
sit up
be.
We'll
there,
have to.
So I need to work another way around.
We'll have to go this way. So I start. Is there down here? Is there like a pathway?
Yeah, there is. You can see what you see on the map, sort of the grey.
Okay.
Can
I'll,
I?
So
Yeah.
as you go past that point,
Oh, hang
Okay.
on, we're about to get screwed.
Oh dear.
hey, don't make it sound like I'm the bad guy. What were you saying, Hansa?
Can Sue help pull me up? Because we're both small.
I don't want.
As
the
you
responsibility.
yell
I choose
as
not
you
to
yell
go
up Sue to the top of this building, you hear Sue behind you. The goblins say, "Eh? I heard something. A little human voice. Little girl human voice." The bigger one says, "Yes, I heard it too.
Wow.
Mayhaps we'll have much more to eat today. All right,
I grab.
Send the team down."
I grab her.
And
by
you
the
see-
feet.
No one's eating my daughter but me.
You see them leave, and they disappear from your sight, while these two still stay.
I hear the.
Hang on.
I don't know what's going on, but all I can hear is rumbling through the tunnel hole. So I'm just going to grab Hope's feet and rip her back down towards me.
This one here goes to investigate with this one in tow.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything to avoid detection, Sue?
Of course. Oh, detection.
Or Gary, sorry.
No, it's
Hope
Sue.
and Gary are back down the bottom right.
Okay, cool. So you guys drop down, and these two go to inspect. You hear sort of the fainter sound as they say, "We'll find them if they're still here." And the few of you get down and sort of manage to avoid detection. While these two are running out the side, I'll get everybody to roll an initiative check.
I also do a cantrip,
11.
minor illusion, to make a real deep-throated growl appear from the entrance of that tunnel.
Oh,
Something menacing and like it's a big animal.
Good choice.
you definitely hear a reaction and some footsteps that get away from the hole. It seems that it was a success.
Now, initiative, which wasn't done to the tag, but I will take the 21. Not re-rolling that.
Beautiful. All right, have we got everyone? We got Snack, we got Hope, we got Sue, we got our main dude, Flint.
That was next initiative.
Where's
I'm actually at 11 on my initiative. I accidentally clicked it twice. I'm at 11.
cool? That's fine. Who else are we missing? Gary. We got a Gary initiative yet?
Yeah, he took a.
Mark, what's
He took what was it, like a 21 or something? But he didn't click his token first.
I misinterpreted Snake's 21. Why is it not doing it?
Oh. Alright.
Beyond 20's being weird.
Oh, you got a dagger.
well, that worked? Stabbed the shit out of it.
There you go.
There we go.
Your dagger was better.
With a
You-
plus
Dagger is
five.
smarter than you.
I got you +5.
Your dagger goes before you.
So, Snack, so focused are you to get to the enemies that threaten your daughter's life that a typical error that happens is that you forget to look up. And it's just like that when you smell the sort of a reptile nearby. And above you, as you look up, you are surprised as a goblin riding a gecko appears above you.
How big is the fucking gecko?
It's a pretty big gecko. This thing's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Jesus, it's
jeez.
fucking huge.
Yeah, but it's actually down to scale. But I just need you guys to notice how gorgeous it is.
It does look
Yeah,
really
pretty
good.
cool.
Okay, alright, what happens?
Yeah. So as that happens, you feel the swoosh of air move as a sword comes crashing down towards you.
Okay.
Let me just quickly roll that one. Hang on, does that actually roll correctly? That couldn't be right.
I don't know, I can't see it.
I know.
You rolled 60.
Uh,
How did I roll 60? I only rolled 1d20. How does this work?
Oh, a nat 20.
I don't know,
That's
I can
pretty-
see a roll, I don't know.
Pretty
Okay.
spicy. As this long sword just comes slicing through you, dealing /roll 2d20. Sorry, 2d10 plus 6 of slashing damage. At a 15 slashing damage.
Dang.
Oof.
Cool, I would kill this motherfucker.
That was the surprise round, as it now starts at the top of the order. It's going to drop down in front of you, and it's going to drop on you with its sort of webbed foot attack.
Oh, dear.
Wait, the gecko's attacking me before the goblin. What are they going
They go on the same turn. They are sort of a unit, as far as this is concerned. A 22 to hit. I'm sure it hits.
Yeah, no, that'll hit. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Am I gonna be an orphan again?
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. Yep. I'm glad I used all my hit dice on that short rest. It's fantastic.
20 damage, is that right?
I can't hear the DM.
Robin, I've lost you, mate.
Do we lose the DM? Okay, I'm fine. I'm back up to full health now.
You're looking good, brother. Looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please hold.
Please hold while
Your
you-
call is very important to us.
Hopefully, I'm back.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So a 12 probably doesn't hit. Hey.
Back in black.
A 12 does not hit.
Yes, he's back.
Yeah. And Valinaru, you're a pretty tanky dude. Hey.
I can, rumble.
Good. And that's 16 AC.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
At any rate, you now have your opportunity to strike back.
Awesome. So
Go get
I'm
him,
gonna
man.
roll. I'm gonna roll out with my gangster bolt and just lock and load.
Boom, boom.
Ah,
Nailed it.
I feel like lead.
The gecko sort of weaves its way and jumps up onto the wall, managing to avoid it.
Cool. I'm gonna then, as a bonus action, cast Shield of Faith on my buddy in his neck.
Nice.
Shimmering field appears around him, granting him +2 AC.
Yeah, so my
Beautiful.
AC is now at 19.
Yeah, boy, get amongst it.
And it's as you are starting this encounter that Hope, you hear the sound of your dad yelp in pain as a sword strikes them.
Oh
Hey,
no!
hey,
I
didn't
run
yell.
off.
Hey.
A monkey growl of pain.
There we go.
Wait, can I run to him? 'Cause
You can sure try.
Wait, can I do it now? Or do I have to wait for my turn?
This is your turn.
It is my turn.
Pay attention.
No, I was
This is a
This
turn-based
is
game.
really
in
awkward.
which one person has a go and then
Oh,
the
shut
next
up,
person
guys.
has a go.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm always leaving room for new people who haven't ever experienced the combat system before.
Oh, I feel like
cool.
you can't run through the wall.
Okay, I move to snack. Oh no! Okay, and then I try and hit the gecko. So
Go ahead, what are you shooting?
I'm gonna do my bonus action of Hex, and I shall cast my Eldritch Blast. Old Faithful. Whoops. what
Old
happened?
Faithful.
Crap. Okay, let me. I swear this worked last time.
You gotta switch it to the old attack roll.
I know,
Yeah,
that's what I thought I did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were reminded to update our character sheet.
Somebody even, I believe, posted a link as to how to do the spell cards.
I'm
Yeah.
going to fix it.
There
I'm
we
going
go.
to fix it.
Can I do Tides of Chaos? So
Uh,
that's 22.
How does it work? So every time you choose to get advantage, you have to roll.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, whoops. Okay, so crap, what happened?
She has to roll twice anyway because she's done a first level spell slot.
Nah, not if it's a okay, so here we go. Once per long rest, you gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Before you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Search table. After you cast a first level spell or higher, you then regain the use of this feature.
This is a cantrip.
No. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah,
But I'm
you
using
guys have to roll.
Tides of Chaos so that it hits. Because the 12 isn't going to hit, right? Or does the 12 hit?
No, it doesn't.
So that's why I want to use Tides of
Cool.
Chaos.
So we do that.
actually
So
hit.
now you've used that up. So it hits. So go ahead and roll damage.
4
So a
plus
total
6.
of 10 points
10.
of force damage.
Is there a
and you
saving
get
throw
to
for that?
choose so necrotic for 6, and then 4 for force,
Correct.
and you get to
Smacking
choose
into this guy.
when
Mhm.
you get to choose
What do I get to
when
choose?
a wild magic surge thing will happen. And once you
Oh,
do
so
that, I
what?
can use
Now
Tides of
because
Chaos
you've chosen that, I get to now just surge you whenever I want.
Ah.
again. Yeah, whenever you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
good.
you've just given advantage to the DM.
that feels like what that is. Yeah,
Well, that's
absolutely.
the point of Tides of Chaos. Like that's the
Oh, I get the point of it. I just feel like, yeah, there you go, DM. Thanks for being so awesome. Here's your advantage.
Nice. I feel like
you know, it
this
could work
is.
in our way.
I feel like this is one of those times where, as you run out to see your dad threatened by this thing, you shoot the small blast out, but as your emotions interact with your spell casting, as your hand is extended, not only does this force come out, but go ahead and roll on that table.
Fuck.
Oh.
D100. 37. What's that?
Do you have it up?
Oh, I do now. Wait, no, it's legit right here. Here we go. Sorceress Origin. Oh no, wait, Wild Magic. Here we go. Dun dun dun. 37. What the fuck is this? 1d6 floops? What's a floop?
Flumps. The flumps.
Oh, they are enemies.
Controlled by the DM, appear in unoccupied space within 60 feet of you and are frightened of you. They vanish after 1 minute.
They say flumps?
Yeah,
Flump.
flump. Like the little things from the Underdark. The little.
I may just. How do you spell it? Like, is it PH?
FLUMPHS.
It's the flump.
Yeah,
The-
I'm copying
Oh,
this in the
a
chat.
flump. I
Instead
get
of
flumps.
a flump. Flump.
So you control them, but they're scared of me.
You just spawned them into existence. That's why.
Yeah, so roll 1d6. I want to see how many there are.
Okay. Can I roll it? Crap, something happened. Wait. no,
Sorry,
I got
is it PH?
No, that's FLUMPHS.
So
Ah.
there's going to be 6 flumps.
There it is. Got it.
I'm just going
I'm
on
just trying to, like,
Square for a second.
Oh my god, it's like a spaghetti monster.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
spaghetti monster.
monster.
Yeah.
This is good.
This
we
is
definitely need
what we
spaghetti
get.
monsters.
You know, when
Oh,
I
guys.
balance encounters, I don't think that flumps are going to just start appearing. So I'm glad that they have.
So yeah, six of them appear.
Oh, I'm not even sure I have a flump for a character.
Just chuck anything in there, we'll make it up.
I'm just throwing out this. Like, Hope could be given title Hope, Captain of the Flumps or something.
Oh, yes.
Lady Flump.
The Flump Meister.
Lady Flump.
Lady
My
Flump.
flumps. My lovely lady flumps.
She's 5.
Oh, God. Just grab
I'm
one
done.
of these. It's perfect. We've peaked. We've absolutely peaked.
My magic brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, "It's better than yours."
Oh dear.
I could get down with that,
Dividends. Absolutely paying dividends. We should all be barbs the way we get these songs going.
Yeah. Just a party barbs rocking out.
Hey, don't give the viewers away what the
Raging
next campaign's gonna be.
Do you know what we should do? 4 of us should do it, then we could be a barb, a shot quartet.
I just think
Can you imagine a party of bards? Can you imagine a party of bards, just known as the band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
If I do play a bard, his name's going to be Jimmy Bards, and he's going to have a band.
Roll for initiative, roll for initiative, roll for initiative, roll for
That's a lot of flutes.
Alright.
So
Oh my
they're
God, look at them all.
so they're tying the
The
What's
6
that?
testicles just appeared on
So
screen.
they're there for 1 minute. I posted in the Roll20 chat.
They're there for 10 rounds of combat.
Yeah, but they're harmless, really, aren't they?
with an AC of 25 and 3,000 hit points.
Remember how bad Banshees were? How their insta-kill worked? Well, let's see how this goes.
Wait.
Don't
What
attack
does
the
it
flump.
mean if it's scared of you?
Well, it's frightened, so it's gonna
It can't
try
move
and
towards you.
run away from you, and it can't move move closer to you.
Oh,
And we've got
sweet.
like magic missiles or anything can just fire off, or some sort of scorching ray.
Yeah, like the
Maybe
river.
Or some
don't
sort of an
kill them
AoE
until they attack
blast.
someone.
AoE. Some firebolt them.
I'm gonna actually delete this one
Do you have
and just
that?
copy and
Something
paste
for
that one.
firebolt?
Oh, that one, delete that one.
Do we not have a whiz in the group for level 5 hitting fireball?
Just let Hope throw a few more spells, and hopefully you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She
I
goes,
can
"Hold on."
cast it on myself.
Yeah, great.
I shoot fireball on.
I'm pretty
Alright,
sure
so let's.
burning children will get us banned from Twitch.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so
Oh.
if I hit a 7 or an 8, I cast Fireball as a 3rd level spell centered on myself.
Beautiful. Great. So these flumps just all appear, which is the obvious right answer to your dad being in trouble is summoning more danger. So next up we have Snake.
Okay. I just freaked out a little bit by all these flying pastafarians around me. I am going to cast.
Nice
Hunter's
reference.
Mark. Yes. Cast Hunter's Mark on the gecko. And then I am going to move away. What? Like 5 or 10 feet if I move that way.
That's 5. That's 5 feet. Yeah.
All right, and then jump just there, and he gets an attack of opportunity on me.
He does. He's going to smack you with that longsword of his.
Bring it. My AC is 19 now.
Yeah,
With a 15 to hit, so it doesn't hit. Go ahead.
Too dodgy. And I'm gonna hit him with my longbow.
Oh, good
Ooh.
stuff.
28, yeah, that'll hit. Cool, so that's normal longbow damage. 9 plus Hunter's Mark is a D6.
You were you there in that spot right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So that's a total of 10 damage to the gecko, right?
Yeah, and in the first round of combat, I get my Gloomstalker Dread Ambusher thing, so I get to attack again.
Now, here's a question for you. If they had a surprise round on you, doesn't that make that the first round of combat?
Ooh.
No,
Okay,
surprise,
cool.
surprise rounds is separate. Yeah, it happens before.
You get away with it this time.
Yeah, I know the rules of
Catch
it.
you next time. Gadget.
This is where the internet tells us
Alright,
he was
I shot at
right.
him. Oh, you know
Another
what?
good hit.
You know what I forgot to do because he's within 5 feet of Valorant, but I'll do it on this turn. It's my snack attack.
Ah, you should have definitely snack attacked.
Yeah, so 28 to hit that time.
Yep, absolutely.
28. So that's 12 points of damage, just normal damage.
Yep.
Snack attack is at this level 1, and that's 1d6. So 12, 15 plus Dread Ambusher, an extra d8 of piercing damage. So 17 points of damage. So all up, that is 27 points of damage on my turn.
Wow, is that including or not including the first 10?
That's including the first 10. So all up is
Okay,
27.
cool.
Yeah.
You manage to just jump backwards, fire 2 arrows at this thing, and you see that it just starts bleeding into the water stream.
Cool. I to turn to hope as I jump back, and I'm like, what the hell are these like flying things?
But it's as you jump away from this one here that we didn't think of earlier, you also get another attack of opportunity.
Was he within 5?
He was. If you were there, he definitely was.
Cool.
Mm.
Cool. Awesome.
With his noodly appendages.
He did. He noodled all the way over to you and smacked you. He's going to smack with a. No, you know what? They aren't smacky type of people. That's great.
Yeah.
You just see in response to you, hitting this thing, they just sort of are in shock that it seems to be worried that you might be hurting a pure creature.
Okay. That's weird. And now I feel like spaghetti. Yeah, and then I end my turn where I am right now behind Valmaru.
And next up, we have Flint. As you see Hope run forward, summon several creatures that's of some demonic origin.
First thing I'm going to do there is just look at this madness, reach out behind me and bring up a spiritual weapon of this mighty hammer. And then that's
Go ahead.
spiritual weapon
Good work, Jazz.
Hits.
will hit the first flump I see. First one.
Wait, what?
You're flump smacking.
Flump smacking. They're in my
You're
way.
not going after the. True.
Whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole.
This,
Hit him.
I'm on the wrong stupid thing.
Hit him real good.
Okay.
Hit my flump one more time.
Yep.
My loneliness is
That's the song.
song.
Force damage. I was aiming for this guy right in the middle.
So you hit the flump for 4 points of damage.
Yep.
This one here.
Yes.
Yeah. So it smacks into it, but its flimsy body just makes that bounce right off, and you can see a scratch there, but that's all that seems to happen as this flump, and it turns to you, and you feel in your mind a deep pressure. Go ahead and roll a maybe a intelligence check. That's int save, I'll say. Sorry.
Intelligence save.
Come on.
14
So
plus
as
the
you're
2,
trying very hard to, what's that? Sorry, what are you saying?
14 plus the 2 for being bitten by the ape.
Oh yes, you are more intelligent. As you feel a presence sort of trying to invade your mind, your intelligent, you sort of are able to push it out with your thought, and you sort of reseal your mind to that sort of force.
Cool.
Next up, we
Hang
have Sue Timbers.
Wait,
Yep, sorry, go back.
Spirit Weapon was a bonus action. And
Yep.
now I'm going to throw a guiding bolt at this. Oh, hey, shit, can I? Shit.
Yeah, boy, come on, land it.
Yes, guiding bolt at the same proof.
Yep.
Wait, how do we know if they're evil?
21 to hit.
With a 21, it hits.
Come on. Up level 1. 15 radiant damage.
Oh,
You shoot your bolt out, and it destroys the first one, and then goes through and cuts the second one to pieces as well, as your light sort of beams through this sort of direction. And both of them find themselves without a body to continue living with.
And then I'm going to run up to closer to the stairs, but not quite poke my head around the corner just yet.
Awesome. Next up, we have Gary.
Nope.
No, we don't.
No,
Or do we?
next up is
Oh, we missed
Sue.
Sue. Apologies. Go
Okay.
for it, Sue.
Okay. I'm a little bit confused. I just heard some goblins talking about eating me. I jump back down, and suddenly now we've got flying spaghetti monsters around. But I've just watched an absolute couple of them explode as they've sort of been dissolved by some sort of bolt. So I just automatically assume that we're raging. I rage as the starting point,
Yeah.
and then I just charge in, and I'm attacking this guy here.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll to hit. With a 18 to hit, you smack this thing. Go ahead and roll for damage. With a 17 points of damage, you easily cleave this thing in half as this floating ball of spaghetti just splits in two, slides down both sides of your axes, and flops to the ground.
Has this spaghetti bowl got a toe?
I guess you could consider the tip of one of its tentacles a toe.
I peel one of the tentacles off the axe.
Well,
Now-
you need a string for your necklace, right?
Oh, what a great idea. A great idea. I peel one of the long tentacles. One of the long tentacles and get it ready.
And the worst thing is, like, I can actually help you make a necklace.
Yeah.
It's
Have
beautiful.
I got clear range to see any of the other animals ahead of us? Because I've got Hope and Val kind of between me and the gecko. Don't I?
You probably won't be able to get to them unless you try and go in the water. But you can definitely
Well, I
go
was
sort
gonna
of to
throw-
here and see them.
Throw
Yeah,
something? Because I get a second
I'd say-
attack.
if you move to this spot, I'd say yes.
There, and I can throw something at them?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. I'm just grabbing one of my javelins.
Oh yeah,
Just launch for 15.
hits.
Whoopa.
And your spear sails through the air, impaling this flumph, and you can see it just smack into the wall and then just
Wait,
deflate.
Attacking the flump or the gecko?
Who are you taking?
I was attacking the gecko.
Okay, cool. With the gecko, it still hits, and yeah, you send this thing rocketing towards it, and it sort of hits its side and continues on, sort of tearing a slit on the left side of its scales.
I'm good.
And next up, we have Gary.
So Gary's going to try and pick the gap and end up there, which is
Yep.
35 feet of movement.
Sure.
And punching time.
Oh
Punchy,
yeah.
punchy with unarmed strike. Nope, I need to hit the thing first. Right, it'll be for 7 if I land it.
Um, 17 to hit? Yes.
So we might do a flurry plus stunning strike.
So it hits for 6 damage to begin with, hey?
That hits with 7 damage. According
Okay.
to, I think. Oh no, hang on. Why is it saying 7 in roll 20? Unarmed straight damage 2 plus 5, 1d6 plus.
It's saying 6 in roll 20.
Yeah, it's 1d6 plus 5 still.
Always beyond 20.
Yeah, so it shows you rolled a
Anyway.
1, so that's a total of 6.
Okay. I'm getting some other pop up in D&D Beyond. Anywho, we're going to dump a key into that, and I'm going to make the target stunned until the end of my next turn. But it's got to do a con saving throw of 14. What does that do? Oh, it just tells you.
It's going to do a con save.
I'm stunning the gecko.
Oh, yes.
So 9 does not seem to make it, does it?
No.
It
He's
is stunned.
until the end of my turn.
And
Nice, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is
That's sweet.
then, as it starts its turn stunned, that we will break for a quick, maybe 10-20 minute break.
Sweet.
How we all feeling?
Yeah, my
over it.
phone's about to die, so I need to charge it.
Sweet. See you guys back at 10.
Before we do, I get an extra attack, so I'm going to punch it.
Oh yeah.
He's going for the
Punchy,
kill before the break.
punchy.
He's stealing the final
Punchy.
kill.
He's still, no, there is still a goblin on that gecko's back, so...
Tis indeed.
That's true. Maybe I can punch him too.
Wait, are
How
we
many
5th
key-
level?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Quite.
So,
How did we get to level 5?
Well, if you
last
hit
session.
Last session, you would know.
That's excellent.
Welcome back to playing D&D.
Well,
Okay,
Five
so I
conversations
need
we've
to
had.
adjust my character.
Alright,
I will
anyway,
do that during the break.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens when you're at the orphanage is you don't get cool experience. So yeah, you start off approaching this thing cool and calm like any monk would. And it's with calm, precise strikes that you spend your key to punch it. And not only punching it, but you disable it. And with your final punch, how do you destroy this thing's life?
Yeah, boy.
Just beneath the eye socket, and it just sort of crumples in from there.
Oh, you see the sort of, in your mind's eye, as your key moves through this creature, you sense its weak points and test them out with every strike. And then with that final blow in the eye, you just feel its energy rippling through its body as it just breaks and it just flops to the ground. The goblin atop of it, brutally hurt also from your barrage. And with that, we'll leave it until after the break.
Okay, so back at, what was it?
Get an extra attack.
Back at 10.
So 20
15
minutes.
minute break.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No worries. Back in 20.
See you guys later.
See you guys.
Bye.
We roll, we rage, and we rarely check for traps. We are Raging Roars. Yes, it's not very good, is it?
I'm really planning on round 3 killing every single one of you.
I don't know how you make
Thank you.
characters and not get emotionally involved. Like, these are my babies.
Well, honestly, like I like all of them.
Rule number 1, don't piss off the DM.
That'll do it.
Cool. Awesome.
Nat 20 to start.
Dude, you should have repented. Why didn't you repent?
I know, right? I wanted that +3 shields.
I hear the hellish scream of the 2 banshees that are flying in the trees above you.
On my back. And you know what? I'm not gonna let you down. I am not gonna let you down.
That's
With
my boy.
15 points of splashing damage, I'm just shearing off feet left, right, and center.
Is this a Google? And I'm going to dump Divine Smite into it.
He finally smited something.
Finally smited something. Open it. And because it's a Banshee, it's undead, right? Extra 3d8.
Oh shit!
What?
When Jan's smiled like that, it is not because she's happy.
I'm going to. This Banshee, after being attacked and attacked, is going to wail. You have to do a DC saving throw of 13. If you do not, it does not end well for you.
DC what?
Oh shit!
can't
Oh
believe
shit!
Am I in that
Oh, no.
range too?
I have
So you
advantage.
claim on
Con save.
con save.
I have
Good
advantage
well,
on
well.
con saving throw.
That's a nat 1! Oh my god!
I have, do I have blessing still from earlier?
Yes!
But that's still in that one though. It fails.
Fails.
Then be the rules.
There's 9.
It doesn't matter, you still failed anyway.
Roll just in case.
I'm waiting for
Rod,
them.
I would like you to do the whale for us, please.
You know what?
Yes!
You
people
wail.
are
You
sleeping
wail
this
and
out.
I'll cop it.
First string, do it.
You wail.
Oh, I can do it.
Oh. So Mark, you take 6 points of shit. This is gonna wait people. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. This is gonna be hilarious.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
But then, Mark, you take 6 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
then you-
of course it's psychic damage. Jerk.
So as you hear this, there is
Tell me what I take.
a failure. A creature drops to 0 hit points.
Oh shit!
Welcome back to Raging Rolls as we find ourselves heading deeper and deeper into a mysterious cave system that keeps changing upon re-entry, wondering whether or not we will find this poor tied-up watchman's party as we delve deeper. The party finds themselves in the midst of combat, having slain their first enemy, surrounded by 3 flying spaghetti monsters as they choose how to proceed. First up in the order is the spaghetti monster, who, as if in unison, are going to fly up and away from you murder hobos as far as they can.
Rude.
Flying testicles.
And what was that?
That's what they look
I
like.
thought you said flying testicles.
No,
I did.
he did say that. Yeah.
Your
Exactly
audio
what he
is
said.
working perfectly.
I'm glad we covered that one off, and you see them disappear from sight. What do you all do?
Are we still in combat?
Not for the time being, no.
say we keep
sorry
moving.
about
It's on
the
ahead.
flying spaghetti monsters. I don't know how that
Um,
happened.
What
can
is going on with
Hila-
your daughter?
I don't know. She's special. She's on the. She takes a short bus.
Oh, thank you.
Can someone please heal me? Because I'm not feeling very good right now.
I can lay hands and
Cough
cure
Yeah, that-
some wounds.
I
That
have a
guy
potion
hit
of
you
serious
hard.
wounds if he needs it.
Yeah, I went from 42
I
to
wanna-
22.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to.
42 to 22. You also
Yeah.
dealt 27.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like you gave
Yeah.
as hard as you got in that situation.
Where are you?
Uh,
Yeah, underneath someone.
Snake, don't fuck around.
Okay, I
I'm
will.
underneath Valero.
Eric?
Okay, I'm going to do a cure wounds on you.
Wait, I don't heal 20 hit points, do I? That's
No,
like 20 to hit.
I think I just need
That's
to.
not right.
I need to fix that up. Here we go. Cure wounds. Oh, it didn't work. 9 points of healing. There you go.
Thank you. And I need to do. I know my Hunter's Mark still up because it's concentration. But yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, your AC is up too.
Yeah, my AC is still at 19. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dwarf. Let's continue on. Who wants to take the lead?
Yeah, I say we-
I'll take the lead then. I'll go behind
I'll
you.
take
I
lead.
love
I haven't
the
been- I haven't been-
volunteers.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'll
haven't
go
been
behind
tagged.
Valero.
So
I need to be at the front here, otherwise I'll get trapped behind. Plus, also I know that there's a bunch of goblins coming that I've just seen when I was up in that little hole, guys.
Yeah, don't
They're
step in the
talking
water.
about eating us.
That's fine. We'll kill the goblins, but don't step in the water.
What's
Okay.
wrong with the
Fine.
water?
Something weird about the water.
Okay.
But just stay
Like,
by me.
actually?
Where's the acquisitions guy?
Hang on.
Push
Hold
him
up.
forward first.
That's a good point.
Uh,
They're
well,
effective.
Make,
Hang
He
on.
has
Hold
it,
up.
make him
yeah.
check for traps with his face.
Let me pop him in. Hang on.
Do we want to go wrap around to get these goblins, or do we want to flank off to the left here across this bridge to work out what else is over here, if anything? Because we can see, like, clear out those rooms just to make sure we're not going to get ambushed by something
Yeah,
savage.
so
What
this
is-
here
I'd rather head in.
is
I'd rather head in the direction.
yeah. So this here, what you saw here, this is like a cliff, so you can't actually see this. This is at a different
But
height.
what about up here? But what about here?
So you would need to go around all the way to climb onto that level.
No, I saw.
And
Oh, okay.
what-
Apologies.
can-
Yeah, okay.
Can
I
we
get
see
you.
in here?
What was it? Sorry,
Yeah, so we have to
Can we
keep.
see in here?
No, I can't
In
see
No,
them.
the-
At
that's
the bottom.
no,
above.
that's above
We
you.
have to
Yeah.
come up here where I am. You have to come this way,
Oh, okay.
and then walk our way down, and then come back around.
Okay, while we're
I see.
walking along, even though I'm at the end of this train, I'm just checking for traps. Or is that wrong?
Beautiful. I
Try and
am.
make a perception check as well.
I am trying to get you a guy to throw in the front of the party so that you guys can have someone to throw in front of the enemies.
Someone to we can actually some way we can actually check for traps by throwing someone.
Yeah,
Make a
this.
perception check
that's
as
way
we're
too
walking
royal.
through.
You can take that Balanaroo at 18 and leading the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next,
not feeling too comfortable to go in front of everyone else at the moment after just getting. Yeah, he wants to make sure
feeling a bit self-conscious.
a little bit self-conscious, like didn't like check for anything, and he also wants to make sure that Hope is taken care of. Who's next
Yeah,
to
so
me?
this is the guy that's at the head of your party. So this is the horse guardian. What it was?
Guardian.
Shove him forward.
Did you see anybody up there that looked like my companions?
Yes,
Goblins.
they're
So
all
shut
up
your-
there. Go help them.
No, listen
Where
up,
sort
listen
of
up for a
in
second.
this
Listen.
direction?
Yes, go
Those
up.
Hold up.
goblins.
Slow.
But the goblins said they hadn't eaten any people in a while. I think that's important. If your party's in here, they haven't been eaten by this lot yet.
Well, I mean that's pretty great news, then, isn't it?
I feel it's-
Debatable.
So
I mean, sure,
It's
but
certainly news.
I'm glad.
Great.
well,
Well,
Give him a shove and tell him to keep
Or are you
moving.
going to get thrown by Valor?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
move.
if we know that there's goblins this way, can we not prepare ourselves and try and do something strategic instead of just throwing me into the pit of battle?
I have a strategy. Okay, we will do the Leroy Jenkins. When you rush in, shouting Leroy Jenkins at the top of your lungs, and go from there.
I
And
can
Now-
speak
I lay
really
on.
loud.
I cast minor illusion and make the sound Leroy Jenkins happen.
I will.
Like kick
I will
his
get
spear in the
you
back.
to. I'll get you to roll a persuasion check on that advice.
I can dress up. I can disguise myself to be this Leroy Jenkins if you like.
You stay next
Yes,
to me.
the small girl has a
Oh.
great point.
You stay next
The
to me.
the likelihood of this code rolling is actually working is like 33.3 repeater. So
I
yeah,
agree. I don't like
Oddly specific, is
Well,
it? Is it usual that you sort of calculate the odds in that manner?
I mean it's true to the mean. So
Whilst
I mean,
you're talking to him,
That's about it.
I thought it was
you know
best.
historically accurate.
Well, I do love a bit of historical accuracy.
Mm.
So, are we sure about this plan of action?
my fear with this is if you
Yes,
go up
and I put
there,
my
we're
hand
going
on
to
it.
cause havoc with these
So
two
what
extra
does
goblins
this
in
Leroy
there, and
Jenkins look like? How do I?
I'm pretty
disguise
sure
him?
that nobody needs the loot of these particular goblins.
I tend to agree with
I
this.
put my hand
with
on his
this-
back. Go,
pull your
Jeremy,
what
sorry,
back?
talk to you. No, go, Jeremy. I'll talk at the top of him.
I tend to agree with the horseman here. This, if what Sue
Not quite
said,
horseman, but horse guardian.
what are you, whatever.
Sure.
If Sue said these two goblins down here that have not eaten for a while, do we want to expend our energy trying to knock those off? Do we want to go hunting for those that we really are looking for?
God, you make a good point. I think we should hunt on, but leave someone here to guard.
I can guard.
I think we were more meaning the useless human.
How are you
Well, I
rolling-
mean,
how are you rolling for traps if he's not with us?
and I do want to try and go after my own people, if that's all right. I want to ensure their safety.
So we're hightailing back to the bridge we saw earlier.
Yeah, I think we're going this way.
I think we head onto the bridge.
Well, all right.
What
I'll
about the
follow
removal of the
along.
goblins? What about the removal of the goblins?
What was that? Sorry.
What about the removal?
I
What
think
about
we're going to avoid that because they haven't eaten, which means the party's not there. So
Well, the party could be there, but they just may not have eaten them yet.
Did you see anything in there, Sue?
Yes, it was really kind of interesting that they were goblins speaking goblinese.
Was there anything else in that room
They looked
worth our
hungry.
time going in there?
Well, I mean, I haven't got any goblin toes on my necklace yet, so
You could have grabbed some off of the corpse downstairs.
I can only take it off the things that I've killed. So I took it off one of the ones.
Ah, right.
That's why I
Yeah.
took the tentacle.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't feel exactly comfortable leaving however many goblins are behind us as we go venture further in and stumble upon whatever. It wouldn't it be better to either make peace with them, offer them a sacrifice in the form of horse guardian, and then continue to the rest of the cave? I'm talking to you. Party.
Look, I'm edging to
Fine.
kill something. Either we kill the things that are here now, or we go find something else to kill. But let's make a quick decision and move on.
I think we go deeper and kill.
Deeper.
Well, I, for one, am going to continue on to find my party. Thank you.
I run after him.
He's falling in the ground.
Going everywhere.
I'm chasing.
Yeah,
I'm running after him.
just
Dang
dived
it.
in.
Shit.
Except
Hope,
when we get around the corner.
Hope, go
I
in
wanna
front.
go
Hope you're
stealth.
going in front of me, Hope, and start stealthing. Be quiet.
I'm going stealth.
So
too.
I walk up behind our horse friend, and I take the back of the long handle of my axe and just hit him in the back of the knee so that he falls down, and then I just kind of make his shoulders roll forward, and I just kind of roll him forward down this area here, just checking for any traps. I can't throw him, so I've just made him fall over while he's not ready and rolled him down towards the marked area.
And I use shocking grasp to make sure he really gives that extra zing.
Now, I'd love to say that you're proficient in rolling humans, but I don't think that's the case.
Is this a strength
You can go
check,
ahead
or-
and make a strength check. Yeah.
Strength actually isn't my biggest thing here. It's 18. It's pretty strong.
Oh, that's
Yeah. I mean, you grab this dude that's flopped onto the ground, and you just roll them into the cave, and they roll into here. So as you all walk across this janky wooden bridge, you all feel that this thing is really not designed for people of your stature, except
You
for
calling me small?
you. Except for you, you feel it's
people
fine.
for small bridge people? Is that what you
This is a small
Wow.
bridge,
Wow.
and as you sort of come across it shaking, you are entering a narrow passageway on all sides. It is just big enough for you all to squeeze through, and it's as you roll your human companion down the cave that suddenly you hear the sort of, shouts of surprise from the guards that were waiting in there, as well as the hope that rises up from a party that seems trapped and shackled in this particular cave.
Oh dear.
Here we
And
go.
with that, we will roll for initiative.
We're re-rolling initiative.
Yeah,
Have you cleared it?
I have.
God
Oh, yeah.
damn it.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
not how you win
It's
the
always
initiative roll.
a race against the rolls.
Yeah. Oh, hope.
No
How
way.
did you
Fucking
get so
initiative roll.
high?
Send in the
We
5-year-old
literally
first.
went from like
I rolled.
nat
flipped.
ones to 19.
Oh. Still
And
on
Gary
or
with his
no?
plus 27 to initiative.
What's on? Sorry.
Hex, or do I have to recast it?
How long does it have?
It's a concentration. That's fine. We'll leave it. It's all good. I have an idea.
I doubt you as a young person would be able to maintain concentration on anything for a very long period of time.
Do I get to keep concentrating on my hunter's mark though? It lasts for an hour.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
do
but
I-
you're an old and wizard lizard wizard. Very different to a
I like
6-year-old.
Lizard wizard. That's my
my
new title.
My AC adjustment was 10 minutes of concentration. Would that still be up, or is that gone?
You could have walked up here in 10 minutes. I'd give you that.
Cool. You still got it. 2+. Damn.
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
19. Fuck yeah. 19 AC. We got this.
Fuck
I'm at the
yeah.
back of the party. It's fine. I've got this.
Yeah, but you got piss weak health, so stay there.
All right, cool.
Um,
I'm just quickly. Yo.
is it my turn?
Not just yet. I'm just adding all of your opponents.
I'd also say bunch up a little bit because otherwise you're going to be spending movement just getting into the fray.
Well, like initiative
add
happens,
turn.
so we don't get to move before initiative starts. So
Yeah.
Okay, we will be rearranging, descending. So top of the order, we have Gary.
Gary.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to get terribly far. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And moving. Where's the best place for me to go?
I mean, this is a spot here, but you can move through them, so you can stand in the middle of all three of them if you'd like.
No, I'm not able to. The limit of my movement, but I can throw some stuff. I have a spear.
That works.
Oh no, I probably want to hold on. I want to hold on to that. I have a dart.
Are you good?
So, roll for dart. 2.
With an 11, let's have a quick look at if you hit. Sorry, guys. You do not hit.
Oh, can't see. And I'm gonna send another dart.
Wait.
Pew pew.
I am so
Oh,
keen.
damn it.
I'm so keen for my
Both 11s miss
They do.
as you sort of rush in trying to throw darts, but these guys are aware of your presence, try to dodge out of the way. Hope, you're up.
Hey, okay, so I cast Shatter here, so that means everything in a 10-foot radius has to make a dex save. Let me just grab the spell.
Here,
Yeah.
remembering that radius is pretty big.
Huh?
I guess
So
all of
that's
us.
Yeah, it gets a lot of people in that.
Yeah, so 5, 10, 5, 10. So like
So even if you cast it, yeah, that
Yeah,
if you cast it there, you'd hit both of these people too.
really?
Yep.
Yeah, radius
that's-
is the center of the circle to the outside of the circle.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
So
I can
you'd be
just-
better off targeting this one, but you can't see that square.
What can I see? I can see this one,
So,
right?
yes, I'd say so.
Damn it! But the
You'd
others.
still hit everybody.
How's your AC?
You'd even hit one of the people down here.
Yeah. Oh.
Rip it. Just do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So I can't shut up. Let me just grab it. Shut up.
I'm aiming behind him.
Gonna
Hanging
regret this,
behind.
aren't I?
Yup.
You're going from murder hobos to homicidal hobos. I mean, suicidal
What's the
hobos.
difference, really?
Suicidal hobos.
Idle hobos.
Sorry, trying to work out technology. Okay, you know what?
Technology,
I'm just gonna roll a d20, and then what do I add to it again? Blah blah blah. Plus.
I'm pretty
Oh
sure
no, it's just a con save.
Yeah.
Lol. Okay, you guys all have to do a con save to 15.
Yep. So both
Shit, you guys are going to
these
be
guys,
ready.
Gary.
What level are you doing this at?
I am doing it at automatically at 2nd level.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so what's the damage? Do you have to roll damage dice for it?
No.
Blah, oh,
Yes,
it's
yes.
3d8.
Yeah. So roll the damage, and then we'll figure out how much damage
Okay,
they take.
Sorry, trying to. Okay, there we go. 3d. Oh god. 3d8.
Who else has to roll a con save?
Ooh.
Me, but I've got to roll it for 7
Oh, yeah.
people.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure it wasn't me, and I was holding up.
No, I'm just doing
Anyone
my quick head maths. That's my
Sorry.
70-20s.
Oh, God.
Enjoy that. So, starting at the top of the group, fails, fails.
Well done.
What's your con? What do they have to make?
15.
15, I think.
15. God, that's bad. Okay, so all of the enemies
Did we
plus.
say Gary?
What's, sorry?
Was Gary in the radius?
Gary definitely was. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me in the radius too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just con save. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, that
But-
makes it.
Oh, I made it.
Oh. Is that half damage on a con save? Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that.
So all my
So
people
22
take
points.
17 points of damage.
Jesus.
And half is 8.
Is that what you're telling me?
Copy. Let me just paste the info.
Yes, that is
That's-
correct.
Can you just tell us how much
sad.
damage we're taking, Robin?
Oh, beautiful.
So
That
what's
is-
that for the save?
It would be your spell save DC.
no, no.
Hensel's.
Yeah.
So did you guys save at 16?
Yeah, I
it
got a
was,
16.
Mine
I
was
think you're
15.
good. It was,
The save
yeah,
was
15, right?
1
yeah,
5.
so you definitely passed. What about
So
Gary?
that's
How
eight.
did Gary go?
Gary took 17 points.
Beautiful. So half rounding down. So we'd be sitting at 8. Yes.
Just want to get that.
Sorry,
Um,
Gary.
Yeah. So I think with that beautiful strike, we take a quick look around the room, and you shatter a few people quite literally.
Oh, really?
Let me quickly just do the quick little maths on that one.
High
And
risk,
guess
high
what? Guess
reward.
what? Guess what?
Jesus.
When I kill someone to 0, I get extra hit points as well.
Jesus.
Oh, lucky you.
Talk about broken.
Right, let me read this thing.
Did you run this by your DM?
Good,
This broken class that you decided to play?
When you
Good thing you
reduce
gave
a
her a
hostile
dagger, mate.
creature to 0 HP, you gain 7 temporary HP.
Do you have to have them hexed or anything before you do that?
No, it's part of my Warlock pack, Dark One's Blessing.
That's fucked. I mean,
That's so OP.
that's so broken.
What?
Um,
It's in the player's handbook, okay, guys?
So,
It's
so
called.
do you just gain 28 temporary
No.
hit points?
Yep.
Cool.
No, you
It
only
works well.
Yep.
Like I
Doesn't
don't
stack.
want my daughter in the game to die, but also, holy crap, that's broken as shit.
Impy whispers in your ear. Yes, take them. Take their force. Take all their life.
Where have you been?
I've been sleeping. You haven't fed me the life of your enemies in a while.
Oh, I get 30 points. 30.
That voice is gonna kill me.
Wait,
What-
guys,
Not as
guys,
dead
how
as the
many people
opponent
did
you
I
just
kill? Did I
shattered.
kill everyone?
You killed a total of 5 enemies. Yes.
Jesus.
So is that pretty much all the evil guys? You're welcome.
Yep. Pretty much single-handedly just wiped out entire encounter. That was pretty good. That was
6-year-old
very
did
nice.
that, guys.
That was pretty good. I'm glad that you did
I
that.
turn around on the spot and head back towards the other dude.
That's
so
my
I can kill
girl.
something.
I turn around
Gary's
in
just
a
staring at his
murderous
bare
rage.
hands and have been useless at throwing darts and just shaking his head.
So, are you heading back to the other
No,
goblins?
not yet. Not yet.
Not
We're gonna
yet.
kill them.
Okay.
anyway.
I was like, it would be very you to just be like, no, I gotta get myself toes. There's no toes here.
Can I loot them? No. Can I loot them? Because I remember the other guys doing that. So I copied them.
Please, come help us. We're held here. Please come save
down.
us.
I'll go down and start releasing the prisoners.
Can I loot them all? DM?
The dead creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that what everybody else does? So I wouldn't do it.
I
too.
mean, you're not wrong. I feel like that's the first thing that anybody ever does. It's just like, oh, let's just loot the dead bodies.
Okay, so what do I roll?
You want to investigate to see if you can find some loot upon their bodies.
Okay, wait. Let me see if I can use Tides of
About to
Chaos.
say, Jez. About to say, Jez, that's a very familiar looking elf bitch.
Yes.
I would like to keep an eye out behind us from the bridge where I am. Make sure nothing's going to come up and bite us in the ass.
Meanwhile, as
Sure, go
Flint-
ahead.
guys can't-
Roll perception while you do that.
I got a 16.
You're 16.
These
Well
guys tried to kill
done.
us.
You find a few little things.
Ooh.
You find a palm-sized glass sphere.
Okay.
You find yourself a collection of some silver and some coppers, equating to about one gold and 8 silver pieces throughout their bodies.
Oh, cool.
You find a key seemingly carved out of rock.
Oh,
you
but
find-
wouldn't the shatter have broken it?
You find some
No.
crumbs in their pocket. some rock pieces that
Oh.
oddly have like straight edges that seem that if they once belonged to some sort of a construct that might have been held together in sort of this shape with like some teeth at the end of it and like a
Okay.
grabbing mechanism.
I'll grab
Um,
this rock. Oh! I can cast mending. I cast mending on the rock.
See, how does mending work? Because unfortunately for you, there's also was a literal rock in the pocket that also shattered, so it's all just mixed together in there now.
You're just cruel.
It was what I was going to say anyway, but you're the one that insisted on it being broken.
Well, it doesn't actually take anything that's worn or carried. Doesn't take damage.
Oh,
You find. Sorry, what was that?
Anything that's worn,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fine. You still get the rock key and then a rock, so you get
Okay.
both.
cool.
And then you get a map of the cave, hand drawn, with the parts marked with a language you don't understand, and then
Is it?
a really nice ring that seems to have belonged to a noble of some sort, a signet ring.
Ooh. Look what I found, Dad.
I'm not
Dad?
there right now. I'm back at the bridge.
So
Keeping an eye out behind us.
Dad.
Please, thank you for coming to rescue us. I don't know what just happened, but I feel like my body is half broken.
Who called this
Yeah,
a
that'll
rescue?
happen.
Sorry, are you not here to help us?
as Flint just charges forward, stops forward, and just says, "Where's the witch?" Where's the elf witch?
Easy, Flint. Easy, Flint.
I'm not sure who you mean.
Where's the elf?
This elf here, who's sort of carrying the blades, in sort of quite a nice garb, seems to be the spokesperson as they sort of try and attract your concentration.
Okay, I'm going to step over here. Yeah. Go.
Well, who are you looking for? Why is it that you've come if not to rescue us?
So I grab this guy by the collar and say, back in the original
Oh, please, sir,
arena,
please.
we were taken at the last moment by an elf who cast some spell on me that I cannot remember because I was well passed out. I need to know who that was.
Well, I'm sort of like I've been with the group with Acq Inc for a few years now. It wasn't me that you first. It sounds like it was quite recent.
Yes, relatively recent. You're saying that all your group here are many years into the business.
I've been part of the business for quite some time, says the dwarf. The Tabaxi also says, I've been part of the group for quite some time too. And the Dragonborn says, I am new to the group, but I do not remember any of you. The elf looks at you all. She sort of peeks out from behind the Dragonborn and says, my pleasure to meet all of you once again.
Oh, elf bitch.
Oh, shit.
I was gonna fucking
And
cast
she
something
sort of
straight
waves
away.
and smiles. She says, no hard feelings about the competition, right?
Can Flint just walk over and I don't know what to do about hitting a woman, but I really want to punch her in the face.
follow your character's instincts.
I think the character's instinct is to walk
But
up.
isn't
with
he
this-
lawful good, whatever?
Doesn't matter. He's well pissed
What did
off.
she do to us? I'm trying to remember. There was the mad scramble
Easy,
for the
Flint.
key,
Easy.
prize.
Throw a
As I
fireball.
recall, she basically just blew you guys up. Like everybody was fighting the sort of main enemy as like the three teams, and then she and her group just basically turned on everybody and just started like play killing. Yeah,
And
Yeah,
then
or
they
like
went after their
making you
one key.
unconscious.
I'm gonna walk up and say, "We're taking the key."
The key's in my hand.
I don't know if it's the same key or not. DM, is it the same
Yes,
key?
see the little girl. She
reckon
understands.
I reckon we loot them all,
And we're taking
and then
anything else you've got on.
their companion can set them free.
I'm afraid that the key that you're looking for has already been turned into Acquisitions Incorporated. That was how they hired us. Remember?
And we're taking
Are
anything
you
else you've got
talking
on.
about this key? Can I just hold it up?
No, that's a special key that you get to sort of have as part of a little keepsake for this little cavern that you found yourselves in.
Oh, it's not special.
Oh, it's special.
Maybe.
I'm sure it'll bring you much joy.
Is this the elf person talking?
We were
Yep.
What were you guys doing?
What do you say, Mark?
What were you doing in this cave? What,
I remember
where's
why
the-
we were following this group. There's a cache in the Sword Mountains.
Oh,
How
yes,
did you get captured
Yeah.
so easily?
Well, you see, we were trying to come and find a cache that was reported to be here, but as we entered, we found ourselves in this cave, and before we knew it, we were surrounded on all sides by goblins, and they come at us unaware, and unfortunately, we were captured. And there was no way for us to signal out to our guardsmen who you've so kindly led to us.
Some high quality adventuring party you lot are.
Well, you see, we've sort of not had. There wasn't a lot of resources spent on this particular adventure.
It's obvious.
So what can you offer us as your saviors?
Well, you're already planning on ransacking my entire body like a bunch of thieves, so what more should I ask? Now, do not speak to our rescuers like that. You know that we need their help. Sure I do, but it's just so much fun. Now, sorry, I apologize about her. If you would just deal with me, I try my best to make sure that you are well rewarded.
I think
What is it that
How do
you're
you wish-
after?
we'll step back and just
What do you have to
too much
offer?
anger.
I'm sure that the Acquisitions Incorporated could offer you assistance. They could offer you some monetary gains.
No. What can you offer us? None of this
I
corporate
mean,
crap.
I
Yours.
have a nice green shirt on me. I've got a coin purse that has enough and a couple of rations. I've got two sort of daggers that are standard issue. And they're all yours. Just tell me what you want.
Do you know why
So
they're
you can-
changing colours?
What, my swords? What do you mean?
No, the dwarf and my dad, but he's not here.
What do
but
you mean changing colors?
They're grey now.
He sort of turns to look and says, "My God, you're right. That's silver. I've seen it. I've seen it before, but I didn't believe that it would be here now. Oh, how did you come across that affliction?"
We got this while trying to find you. You know what it is. You need to tell us what it is.
Well, have you ever heard of sort of? I think it's. Hang on, let me just quickly find the disease itself. I remember writing it down last time.
Is Snack still there? Why isn't he coming over?
Snack
He's waiting.
Snack is making sure that nothing comes from behind us to cause us any problems.
Because I killed everyone.
Well, no, not everyone. There was things behind us that people were talking about, but we didn't deal with them. So he wants to make sure that he doesn't get stabbed in the face again. Didn't like it last time. Be sure to tune in every Thursday night for this quality content as the DM tries to find something that he created 4 months ago. Yeah.
It is worth the wait. As he looks, he says, "Have you ever heard of the magical wasting disease?"
No.
What does that mean?
No, but go on.
Well, it just so happens that quite a few centuries ago, there was a group of alchemists and sorcerers and wizards who took upon testing their various magical charms on different creatures, and as such, they began to influence those around them, and one such effect caught and started off with a group of apes, and it began very simply with them feeling that they were able to give them intelligence, and it made them stronger. They were able to suddenly understand the wizards better. As they continued on, they also found that they were quite a lot bulkier and stronger. But it soon became apparent that it wasn't sustainable. Whatever was giving them the intelligence was also killing them. Unfortunately, that didn't stop there. Some of the researchers who were working with them, they also started finding themselves growing smarter, growing stronger, and then, as it just so happened, they all started discovering long silver streaks of hair, and that led eventually, a few weeks later, to, as I recall, their inevitable death. It started to turn into a bit of an outbreak in Waterdeep, and it was only after some amazing work by some of the great wizards at the time that the disease was eradicated, or at least those bearing the infection were outcast. And I thought, as I understood it, it was eradicated.
Well,
So where do we find these great
I
wizards? 'Cause
pull on
clearly
his
it's
robe.
still sunk into our party.
Are you saying
What
my
are you
dad's
doing?
gonna die?
Well, I'm not saying that specifically, dear. I'm just saying that your daddy needs to find medicine that I don't know exists anymore.
It's just a kind of curse.
Your guess is as good as mine. It is called magic wasting disease, but its origin and its form of magic could be various.
Can anyone here send a message and bring Sneck back into our group here? I have an idea. No. Excellent.
We might just need to yell for him.
Snack.
What have I seen? Have I seen anything with my 24 perception check?
Hey, Snack,
You have not, no.
Okay.
come back down to the group for a sec.
Wait, what's up?
There's some weird stuff going on. We found some dudes. There's a conversation. They know something about the going grey business and the scales.
Excuse me, but if you were to allow us to take you back to Acquisitions Incorporated, I'm sure that we'd be able to use some of our connections to ensure that you get the best of care.
We'll see what we get out of you guys.
Don't know this person. I don't like the sound of their voice. Doesn't really settle Snack at all. He
You see a gorgeous elven woman with flowing hair, with a smile that could charm even the most hardy of adventurers, but the voice betrays what underneath is quite a scheming individual.
Yeah, he.
One of us inside check.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to with that saying. I want to do an inside check.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do one.
It's all yours, dude.
With a 23, you can definitely tell that this person is obviously very excited to get out of here, but it does seem that they aren't bluffing with their offer to give you at least some of the resources of Acquisitions Incorporated. It seems like a pretty easy thing for her to manage, at least from what she says.
Let him go, but keep an eye on him. We need all the help we can get with whatever is happening with us right now.
Snack, I have an idea to run by
It's
you.
she.
It's
What's
just
your idea?
Go, Gary.
No.
It's just you and me affected by this affliction. Yes. I happen
Wasn't
to
there
have.
another one?
I
Gary.
happen. Hey, Gary. Okay. Great. I'm looking for a volunteer. I've recently acquired and learned a new spell that removes curses. We can try this on one of you guys and see if it removes all the hairs, makes you a bit dumber and a little bit weaker.
All right. Well, I'll volunteer. Sure. What have I got to lose?
A volunteer
no.
is tribute.
I volunteer. Yeah.
Okay. So with that,
I'll do anything that I can do to still be alive for my daughter.
okay. So with that, Flint sort of swings his arms around in the air, places his hands on you, and attempts to remove curse.
You attempt to remove the curse. So you lay your hands across this sort of silver mark, and you push the curse out and try and control what you feel there, and you sense the curse that's lying underneath. But as you push out of it, it seems that whatever the curse is too built into who Sneck now is, that it seems that you'd need a spell of greater potency to be able to get rid of it completely. It does reduce the spread of the silver. You can see it retreat slightly, but still on, you can see the disease and the curse go.
So with that, Flint takes his hands off Flint, has a bit of a puff. Snack, it's too much into you. We need something stronger than what I've got.
But it seems like a curse, right?
Yeah, but it's a curse. It's stronger
That's a
than
good-
my ability
It
to
seems
remove it.
like our best
It's a
bet.
good thing to know, though.
I want to speak to this Elven Witch and see what ability she has to remove curses.
And then murder her.
Well, I'm sure that in the history of Acquisitions Incorporated, we sure have had to employ a few curse breakers in our ranks. Yeah, I've had to get a couple of curse breakers on me myself. My toes have gone into a couple of liquid broths that have not quite done the best for me.
Don't talk about
Oh,
toes, that's
please.
too hard.
Oh, is that a particular affliction that is on that gnome right there?
It is. It
Unless you're
really
willing to
is.
cut it off,
He's-
I'd be very careful.
He likes to collect them.
Well, I am a fan of a man who knows what they want, and he sort of nods to Sue. And this sort of elven male, leans to her again. It's like, if we were to be able to help you all, would that be enough of a help and a boon to help you for you to let us out of here?
That and a little bit
She
more.
remains bound and gagged.
As long as she is free to go once we arrive at Acquisitions Incorporated, I'm more than happy to meet that condition.
Remove the curse, we release the elf.
Well, like I said, this curse is ages past. We'll give it our best shot, but I don't think that's going to be a condition that we possibly couldn't even meet.
Let's get moving. We can't stay here and
Best
debate
you
this.
try
Let's
hard.
get back.
Let's go.
Well, all right,
I-
let's head out.
You okay?
What about our
bind
leftover
the
elf?
elf? I bind her roughly and give her and gag her and give her a good shove.
She does not seem happy. That's for damn sure. And with that, as you sort of start to head out, it's the end of tonight's session.
Yay!
Oh wow.
Sweet.
Guys, can you believe I did that?
I actually can't. I actually can't. Like,
That was huge.
Like, Snack, your father has faith in you. I don't actually at all. I'm totally kidding.
I had those all on a pretty decent AC. Admittedly, their health was below 17, but you know, I decided with the amount of them, they would at least put up a decent fight. And
You
They're
just
like,
weren't
"Nope."
expecting I cast nuke.
yeah, and destroy all of them.
Yeah, it's how it happens.
What was the
Like,
name?
Never underestimate the party, DM.
Nope, apparently not. Apparently not. But look how perfectly it worked out. Right on the dot finish. It's what you want to see.
What was the name of that spell? Because that is
Shatter.
a killer one to hang into your
Shatter.
shatter.
Level
It's
2
very
spell.
good spell.
I have it as well.
Jesus.
Look at.
Shatner, it just goes and, tells you spoken word poetry
No.
until you lose interest.
Oh god. Oh god.
I was, and especially like, after last session, when I was so careful with traps and stuff, and then this session, run straight in and get surprise attacked by a fucking
It is pretty good. Like sometimes the traps gotta get you.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we
day
are like
we'll learn,
12,
too.
so,
I can't believe
What was that, Mark?
I said one day we'll learn too. I was expecting,
we'll never
half
learn.
expecting I was half expecting to be using our guardian or our guard as a trap detector by just basically pushing his face forward until something blows up.
Yeah. So, level 6, Mr. DM.
No way. No
Oh,
way.
try.
What
Okay,
one
level
per session will give us only a few more weeks and then this game's over.
I know.
just getting used to what I've got.
Yeah, hence has only had half a session.
Yeah, I literally only need like one more level, and then I can go one more level in Rogue, get my bonus action hide and everything like that, and then I'm like pretty much set for my character.
Hey, Hinza, did you just
So
get
you're
level
happy to just
5?
stay level 6 forever?
No, I'm happy to go higher level.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you just get to level
You happy
5
to
at
what?
half time?
Because
Never mind, carry
No,
on.
no,
Butted in.
Yeah, no, only thing that'll be good is like just taking more levels in rogue, so that as a rogue, I get the better sneak attack and do a shit ton of damage whenever I hit something. Because I like doing damage when I hit stuff. If you couldn't tell with my Stalker Ranger.
Yeah, that was a good hit that you did on that thing. I think you took like half its health in a single attack.
Yeah, surely that starts to go crazy damage dealing.
Yeah, well, like I think like third level in rogue, I get 2d6, and then just keep going up and up, and then eventually it ends up like 10d6 for sneak attack damage.
Oh,
it's like
it's
rogues
crazy.
That's
are
nice.
very fun if you play them right and you remember to check for traps, which I sometimes don't forget, which is works well with my character.
I think it does. Like, if your daughter is in danger, I think that the rush was very well warranted.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
I'm pumped because I've gone 2 levels of cleric and a Tempest cleric, so anything with lightning damage I can crank up and do a channel divinity that gives me max damage without having to roll
Nice.
if I invoke. So I'm just waiting for the high level stuff where I'm like, yep, just
I'm exactly
rip
the
it
same as you, right? But I keep forgetting that shit.
Come on,
But already-
Ranger Sheep, have your have the player's handbook open next to you on your character page. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I have 3 books open next to me, so I remember all my stuff, my character stuff.
I specifically pick my spells because I'm ready. I'm like, cool, if this hits the lightning damage, like, we're just like Shadow Blade I've got, it's like a 2d8 plus 1d6 of bloody damage, and if I landed on lightning, then, mate, it's Christmas tree time.
Shadow Blade? Is that a weapon as well?
Hit things.
It took a whole heap of restraint.
Magic surges.
Oh, that's gonna be good. I'm glad we got one in there because that was spectacular.
Did you just get that spell
There
at half
should
time?
have been. She should. When she cast Hex, she didn't roll though.
No, because it's a warlock spell. It's not a sorcerer spell.
Oh, that doesn't count.
I think we should. I think to get those really popping off, we got to start counting everything.
I think
Can we-
You can't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
agree.
got to be
I think
everything.
it's like if you're casting, you're casting.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's
Yeah.
coming from. You're casting.
Your body's not just like, oh, this is a different type of magic. Cool. This one I won't just explode on you.
Oh, MP needs to be.
What, sorry? Needs to what? Sorry, you cut out.
He needs to be in the forefront.
MP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be
It's
the
a-
forefront. He can be the appetizer to my dinner.
Little leathery skin demon.
Poison.
Yeah, crunchy.
Would be great.
Oh,
No, so,
nice.
Like I said, feel free to use Impy in combat and throw Impy out there.
Mm. Try to, yeah.
Because in combat Impy's yours. Out of combat Impy's mine. Them's just the rules.
But like, how? I don't. Because familiars can't. They have initiative, but they can't attack or anything.
No, but they can.
But
do
they
the help
can
action.
Yeah, exactly.
But the help action can't consistently use it, right?
Yes, every turn they can do it.
Wait,
It
but then
gives you
means-
advantage
I need to have-
on your attacks.
What?
What'd you say? Hands up?
But wouldn't that mean I get advantage on every turn if I'm consistently getting helped?
Yes.
What? Robin said I couldn't do that.
My apologies. Go ahead. And then that means I can kill your Impy if they are helping out. So
Yeah.
that's a good win for everybody.
Trade off, like you know.
Anyway,
vote for your creature
on
out.
that super positive note, I'm going to sign off for the evening. Thanks everybody for watching, and
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
come back next week. Come back next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. to continue some shenanigans in the main Waterdeep campaign. See you guys all then.
Yeah.
Follow us
Bye.
Do that.
twitch.tv/Raging
Follow.
Rolls.
Like, follow.
See you guys next time.
subscribe, Share.
Bye.
everything.
Bye.
Tell your mum.